Oh, brother teacher here. Who cares that Dr. Sebi is dead? Who cares that Dr. Sebi has died? I do. Let me be one of the first to say that I care that he has died. His passing uh, is felt throughout the world of natural medicine, homeopathic medicine, holistic medicine, and everything associated with living from the land. Um, I know that there's some that may not know of Dr. Sebi or may not know very much about Dr. Sebi. I'm not here to do a documentary on Dr. Sebi, but I will try my best in this discourse to just summarize a couple of things as it relates to him. Dr. Sebi was an individual, a black man, uh, who was born and raised in Honduras, and he never went to school. Stayed home with his mother, raised by his mom. And if you watch any of his videos and he has conversations about his mother, he would say that that was who he looked up to and believed in, his mother. And early on in his life, you will also hear him mention that he was stricken with an illness, and he found a holistic means to rid himself of that, and he was cured by someone using herbs. And so that sort of began his search and research into alternative methods to healing human conditions. And he believes, or believed, as I do, and many hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of people do, whose minds are open now, that since we are natural, and you've heard me say this many times, since we are natural, then the things that we put in our bodies and on our bodies should be natural as well, or from the earth. That's not the mindset, and that's not the ideology of the medical profession. They rather continue to giving human beings chemicals that are toxic, carcinogenic, cancer causing, in other words, and that shorten your life as opposed to prolong your life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the truth, and it's just a fact. No doctor who has studied allopathic medicine has ever healed any human being in the history of the world. Not intentionally. They've never done it. They believe in two things when they go to school. Number one, prescribing medication. Number two, suggesting surgery. Those two methods are their madness, and both wreak havoc on the human body as opposed to going a more naturalistic method. Herbs, fruits, vegetables, clean and pure water. They don't believe in that because there's no money in it for all of the corporations, big pharma or the pharmaceutical corporations. There's no money in it, not the money that they want anyway. So Dr. Sebi was a proponent of this very same thing. It is true that here in recent years, even 2016, we've lost two greats, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, psychologist, in January of this year, And here in the month of August, we lost Dr. Sebi, a self-proclaimed holistic doctor who has recorded, who has documented cases where he has cured AIDS, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure, and the list goes on. He has done it and it's documented. But what's wrong with that situation? There's nothing wrong with what he has proclaimed to have done and indeed did do. What's wrong with that situation is that it doesn't set well with the medical and the pharmaceutical industry, because he's stepping in their territory and he's causing people to want to go the alternative route as opposed to the medicine or the pharmaceutical route, and that cuts into their profits. Dr. Sebi was targeted, just like Dr. Welsing was targeted, just like Kevin Trudeau was targeted, just like Malcolm X, just like Dr. King, just like President Kennedy, anyone, Brother Muhammad, who passed away some years ago, from the Nation of Islam, that particular Muhammad, you know who I'm talking about, Khalid Muhammad. All of these individuals were targeted because they took a stance and they stood up against the powers, against the status quo. And the status quo didn't like it because they don't want you messing with their white dollars that they are extracting from the population and from the world even. So Dr. Sebi, in my estimation, and I'm not the only one who believes this, he was targeted. They trumped up some charges in Honduras because he had in excess of $10,000 on his person, and they arrested him, and he was locked up for approximately a month almost, and he ends up strangely with pneumonia, and then he's dead. The man's 80 something years old. All of his previous engagements prior to that, Dr. Sebi had no signs, no symptoms of any illness whatsoever. And just by happenstance, he gets locked up and now he has pneumonia and then he dies. That's strange. But anyway, Dr. Sebi is sorely missed. He's missed by me. He's missed by all of those whose lives he's impacted in a very positive way, who he's helped to heal and to educate as to the ills of pharmaceutical medicine and all of the positives of holistic and natural medicine. He will truly continue to be missed. So I want to say that while I'm on here right now, that all of those who value his teachings, make sure that you copy as much of his information down, copy his videos, store them on your hard drive, store them somewhere, document them, put them on a disk and put them away, duplicate them several times so that you can continue to go back and reap the benefits of the information that this man has spent his lifetime to accumulate, to amass, to study and to learn and to be able to disseminate to the masses. And he has affected a lot of people in a positive way, even in the celebrity arena. Lisa Left Eye Lopez of the TLC fame, she's passed now, but he affected her life in a very positive way. Even she made mention of it in a documentary. Steven Seagal, he's affected his life. And Brother Polite, he's affected his life in a positive manner. And the list goes on with that as well. Dr. Sebi was a godsend. And we can't take these individuals for granted. When they come across our path, oftentimes they only come one time in a lifetime. You had better have your eyes open, your ears open, and be paying close attention when these individuals cross our paths and not take it for granted, because he has left some jewels for us as far as our health. And as far as our health is concerned, the industry doesn't want us to have good health. They want us to stay sick until the day we die so that they are constantly benefiting from us financially. And Dr. Sebi was against that, and so am I, and so are many, many others. So before I close, I want to say this also, that Dr. Sebi was called a quack, like many of us who are professing the truth. We're called quacks and stupid and snake oil salesmen and things like this. But he won a case against the Supreme Court back in the late 80s. They arrested him, charged him with saying that he could cure all of these diseases, and he didn't have a license to practice medicine, basically. And so he had the doctors in the courtroom with him. He stood up against them with the knowledge that he had, and he won the Supreme Court case. He is the only black man in history to have ever done that. So this should speak volumes about his legacy. Okay, so while we're here, I just want to encourage you on that same note to stand firmly with both feet on the ground in the knowledge that you acquire. While you're studying, make sure that you know what you're studying and that you don't just simply have a familiarity with it. Make sure that you know what you're talking about, because the trolls are out there, the agents are out there, and they will be trying you at every chance or opportunity they get. The white supremacist mindset and mentality and regime doesn't want you to disseminate anything that's going to elevate anyone on the planet, because when you do that, you are compromising their situation, and then they cannot move forward with their agenda in the way in which they want to. And their agenda is to be in control of every aspect of all of our lives that they possibly can. Okay, it's real simple. Start to think about your future and the future of your children and your family in terms of longevity. Learn how to fix and prepare your own meals, how to grow your own food, how to purify your own water, how to shop when you do go to the grocery store, what's good for you and what is not good for you. Stop assuming that the people who you buy your products from are legitimate. Stop assuming that when you go to a restaurant, they're giving you real food, real nutrition. Stop assuming that when you go to the grocery stores that everything that you purchase is wholesome for you, because it's not. You must do your own due diligence. You must study, and you must study, and you must study. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Okay, that was all I had to say. Let us salute Dr. Sebi in 2016 and forever. This is Brother Teacher, and I will see you in the next video. So long.